before the thunder. Before Olympus, Zeus was nothing, a hidden child, son of a tyrant, destined to rise or be devoured like the rest. This is the rise of Zeus. In the beginning, there was only one thing: chaos, not disorder, not destruction. Chaos was the void, the silence before time, the black breath before the first scream. From chaos came the first powers: Gaia, the earth eternal and unmoving; Tartarus, the deep abyss darker than night; Eros, desire, the spark that would ignite creation; Nyx, night; Erebus, shadow. But above all, from Gaia came Uranus, the sky, and the two became the first union. Together, Gaia and Uranus gave birth to the Titans, 12 in total, vast, ancient, and full of potential. But Uranus feared his own blood. He saw power in the Titans, too much power. And so, when Gaia gave birth, Uranus forced the newborns back into her, buried inside the earth, imprisoned in the body of their own mother. Gaia screamed in silence for eons, until one Titan dared to listen. The youngest, the sharpest, the coldest. His name was Cronus. Gaia forged a blade of adamant, and when Uranus descended to cover her again, Cronus struck. He castrated the sky. The blood of Uranus spilled into the world and birthed monsters: the Furies, the Giants, and Aphrodite. With his father broken, Cronus became king of the cosmos. He freed his siblings, took his sister Rhea as queen, and ruled over a golden age, drenched in paranoia. Because Uranus had spoken one final prophecy: you too will be overthrown by your own child. Cronus heard it, and he believed it, so he swore to end the threat before it began. When Rhea gave birth, Cronus did not hesitate. He swallowed the infant whole, first Hestia, then Demeter, then Hera, then Hades, then Poseidon. Each child consumed, alive, locked in his stomach, conscious, silent, waiting. Rhea broke. Her womb bore gods and her arms cradled none. But her sixth child, she would not give up. On the island of Crete beneath the earth, in the cave of Dicte, Rhea gave birth in secret. A boy. His name was Zeus. She wrapped a stone in swaddling cloth and gave it to Cronus. He swallowed it without question, and Zeus was hidden from the world, raised by the goat Amalthea, fed with divine milk, guarded by armored warriors who clashed their blades to silence his cries. Zeus grew in exile, not as a prince, but as a survivor. He knew what had been done to his brothers and sisters. He knew the throne he deserved, but more than anything, he knew fear, and that fear became fire. Zeus returned not as a warrior, but as a whisper. He moved through the halls of Cronus like smoke. No one knew him, but he knew them all. Then came Metis, the goddess of wisdom. With her knowledge, Zeus crafted a plan. Together they brewed a potion, one that would force Cronus to vomit the gods he had swallowed. Zeus approached him as a servant, offered him a drink. Cronus drank, and the earth trembled. One by one, the gods emerged from the tyrant's belly: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, grown, awake, furious. The children of Cronus were free, and they would not forget what had been done to them. They did not beg. They did not ask for peace. They declared war. The Titans stood tall on Mount Othrys, led by Cronus and the might of old power. The Olympians gathered on Mount Olympus, young, hungry, and full of rage. But Zeus knew they would not win alone. He descended into the depths of Tartarus. There, chained in the void, were the Hekatoncheires, beings with 100 hands, and the Cyclopes, giants with a single eye, masters of divine craft. Zeus freed them. In return, they gave him 3 weapons. To Hades, a helmet of invisibility. To Poseidon, a trident that split the sea. And to Zeus, a lightning bolt that burned the sky. With these gifts, the gods no longer fought as exiles. They fought as gods. The war lasted 10 years. For 10 years, the sky was on fire. The oceans rose in rebellion. The earth cracked under divine footsteps. Zeus hurled bolts of pure chaos, shattering mountains and titans alike. Poseidon drowned armies. Hades struck from shadows. The titans fought back with raw might, but they were not united. They were old gods fighting for survival. The Olympians were new gods fighting for destiny, and destiny won. Zeus struck Cronus down, not with mercy, but with lightning. The titans were defeated. Those who survived were cast into Tartarus, deeper than death, darker than nightmare, chained forever. The war was over, but the world was forever changed. The titans had fallen. Their screams were buried in Tartarus. And from the ashes of war, Zeus stood, not as a son, but as a king. He had done what no one thought possible. He had broken the order of the cosmos. And now he would rebuild it in his image, but not alone. Zeus called his brothers to the edge of the world. There the 3 of them cast lots, the first and final game of fate. To Poseidon, the seas. To Hades, the underworld. To Zeus, the sky. But Zeus's prize was more than just air. It was command, authority, the throne of Olympus itself. He became the chief of gods, not by right, but by victory. And he would rule Olympus with one law. The age of rebellion was over, but rebellion never sleeps. Not in heaven, not in hell. From the blood of Uranus, spilled long ago, the giants had risen, born of Gaia, raised in hate, and now they marched on Olympus. This was the Titanomachy, the war of the giants. They were larger than titans, stronger than mortals, and immune to the gods. No god could kill them, unless a mortal struck the blow. So Zeus turned to earth. He summoned Heracles, his mortal son, to stand beside him. Together, God and man crushed the giants. Zeus hurled thunder across the mountains. Heracles pierced their immortal skins. And when the dust cleared, the skies still belonged to Zeus. But Gaia had one last weapon. From the edge of chaos, Gaia gave birth to Typhon, a monster that made even the gods tremble. Wings that darkened the sun, eyes that shot fire, and a voice of 1,000 beasts. Typhon stormed Olympus. Every god fled. Only Zeus stood his ground. Thunder clashed against storm, lightning against chaos. Zeus struck once, twice, 10 times. The sky burned, but Typhon was not a beast. He was a catastrophe. Typhon struck back. He tore the sinews from Zeus's limbs. He crushed the king of gods beneath Mount Etna. But Zeus did not die. He rose. He unleashed a final thunderbolt, forged in the heart of Tartarus, and buried Typhon under the earth, where he lies still, rumbling, hating, waiting. After Typhon, there were no more wars, but peace did not mean freedom. Zeus ruled Olympus like a fortress. He created laws, divine oaths that even gods could not break. He punished traitors. He kept the universe in balance, through force. Zeus was a storm held in human form, and storms do not ask, they command. The gods feared his wrath. Mortals feared his judgment. When men lied, they swore on Zeus. When kings ruled, they claimed his blessing. He became not just a god of thunder, but a god of justice. Even the smallest lie was an offense. Even the smallest rebellion was treason. But not all bowed. One Titan refused. Prometheus, the god of foresight, the creator of mankind. He pitied mortals. He gave them fire. He taught them truth. He defied Zeus. And Zeus, in turn, made him an example. He chained Prometheus to a mountain. And every day an eagle came to devour his liver. Every night it regrew, eternal punishment for eternal defiance. But Zeus was not done. He punished all of mankind. He created Pandora, the first woman sculpted from clay. Beautiful, curious, deadly. And she carried with her a jar. Inside it, every plague, every sorrow, every curse. And when Pandora opened it, the world was never the same. Zeus ruled the skies, but his power didn't stop at lightning. He was driven by hunger, not for food, not for gold, but for beauty, for conquest, for control. Zeus became the most infamous lover in all of mythology. No one, mortal or divine, was beyond his reach. He seduced, he deceived, he transformed into animals, storms, even other gods, to reach those he desired. From these unions came children, not ordinary children, but heroes and gods who would shape the world. From Leto he fathered Apollo and Artemis. From Semele he bore Dionysus, the god of wine and madness. From Danae came Perseus, the slayer of Medusa. From Alcmene, the mighty Heracles, who would one day burn on a funeral pyre and ascend to Olympus. From his own mind, without mother, came Athena. It began with a dream. Zeus felt pain, a terrible pressure behind his eyes. He called for Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods, and ordered him to strike his skull with an axe. One blow, a crack like thunder. And from Zeus's head leapt Athena, fully grown, armored and armed, the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and war. She was not just his daughter. She was his mind made flesh, his will sharpened into steel. Athena never rebelled. She became his most trusted. But even she one day would judge her father's rule. As his power grew, so did his fear. Zeus had overthrown a tyrant. Now he feared becoming one. He watched the skies for betrayal, watched his children for threats, watched humanity, and saw only disobedience. He struck down kings for hubris. He razed cities that defied the gods. And when mortals grew wicked, he drowned them all. Only Deucalion and Pyrrha, two righteous souls, survived the flood. From their hands, humanity was reborn, not from passion, but from stone. Even then, Zeus never trusted mankind again. Prophecies haunted him, first from Uranus, then from Cronus, and now from Gaia and Themis. One day, a child born of Zeus would be greater than him, just as he had been greater than Cronus, just as Cronus had been greater than Uranus. So Zeus turned against the idea of legacy. He swallowed Metis, his first wife, just as Cronus had swallowed his own children. But it was too late. Athena had already been conceived, born from wisdom, not defiance. But others would come, stronger, wiser, and Zeus could not stop them. The wheel would turn again, and even the sky could not hold its throne forever. Zeus is many things, a liberator, a tyrant, a lover, a judge. He is the sky, the storm, the silence before the strike. He ended the age of titans. He ruled gods and men. He enforced oaths, and he broke them. He gave the world order and punished it for dreaming beyond it. He could be merciful, but never weak. He could be wise, but never still. He is thunder, held in a throne. And though the temples have crumbled and the myths grown quiet, his name still shakes the world. Because Zeus is not just a god. He is the law. He is the fear. He is the fire that gods themselves obey. And this was only the beginning. Stop Before you leave, check this other videos that we made for you. You will love them. Like and subscribe.